evening. Thanks for staying tuned to Hard Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info and Hereford Harcourt. I'm Dio. 19 gun past 5. Discussion continues. Thanks for staying tuned and joining in as well. Arguably, and possibly rightly so, the most talked about matter in the country at the moment is the security situation or insecurity situation. Depends on your standpoint. It's a major issue, and it does, as has been proven right now, affect literally everything. It has been adduced to be the reason for a lot of issues affecting the country, even economic indices, even scaring off as far as some perspectives are concerned, even scaring off prospective investors as well, causing rise in the price of food items. If you can't transport food items from one part of the country to another, if farmers cannot access their farms, and just about everything, it's there's no doubt about it. Putting it simply, it's a horrible mess right now in the entire country, and we do need to fix it. And expectedly as well, a lot of discourse is going on the matter, and leaders of various spheres, political office holders, also weighing in and lending their voices to the cry and clamor for something decisive to be done, and also rendering their support and proffering possible solutions to addressing the matter as well. I have one such leader with me in the studio right now as we take a look at the security situation in Rivers State and by extension the country at large as well. Chairman, Ikwerre Local Government Area, or might I say newly elected, or re-elected, pardon me, Chairman of Ikwerre Local Government Area, Honorable Samuel Nwanosike. Chairman, good evening to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Nayo. Thank you for the opportunity of being part of this show.
Good to have you here. So let's dive straight into it. Before we come to the Rivers State and the specifics, or certain other specifics as well, it is not news to anyone right now, and I do believe yourself as well, the terrible situation of security or insecurity in the country. What's your general overview on the matter?
Is that I remember that in the last time we had a discussion, these were the issues we were talking about. When we talked about that the time to rejig our constitution and allow for true federalism in this nation has come. It's either we own up to it, face it, learn from our mistakes about how to go about it, or what is going on now will consume the entire nation. The federal government, as it's presently constituted, they are aware that they don't have the capacity to manage the affairs of the 774 local governments at the same time in this nation. Not talk about managing all the affairs in the entire states of the nation. We want a situation where we should have an opportunity for states to spend the amount of money they want for the kind of security infrastructure they want to own. If Abia State, for instance, wants to spend 3 billion in a year for security architecture, and Rivers State government wants to spend 30 billion for security architecture, you cannot equate such expenditure with the results that will come out of it. Nobody will tell you, and I know you won't believe it, or tell anybody in this world, that there will be meaningful development without having the environment secured. For crying out loud, people swore an oath to protect the lives and the property of a people as the very basic responsibility of government. Even before you talk about provision of welfare, how can you talk of provision of welfare when the place is not secured? Or can you imagine a situation right now when even those who are supposed to be the security architecture are being under attack? Because our security apparatus as it's presently considered today is gone. It's gone in equipment, it's gone in manpower, it's gone in capacity, whether in hardware or software, it's gone. We don't have it. We're talking about a nation of over 200 million plus. Yet, we are hearing that the police force is not up to 500,000. The military is not up to 500,000. What about the Navy? So how do you manage such a situation?
I'll take up on some of the things that you said. No doubt. and it's been a conversation we'll be having for a very long time, to decentralize or restructure, to borrow your expression, especially matters concerning security as well. Allow the state to run their security apparatus. And I believe last time we had a conversation about this, you even suggested even at the local government level as well.
Yes, of course.
As happens in other parts of the world. However, a counter-argument to that would be, do we have, especially at the state level, the federal government, you're right, I think even they've admitted, we have issues with providing adequate security. Funding is an issue as well. Considering the revenue state in which we are right now in the country, do you think states can even afford to? States are still having argument over, even as we speak right now, the issue of the new minimum wage, 30,000 naira. You said just now, hypothetically speaking, Rivers State decides to spend 30 billion on security, and some other state says we can spend 3 billion naira. What happens then? So what happens to that state that can only afford to spend 3 billion? Does it mean that we just cordon that state off and they can kill themselves and kidnap themselves all they want, and the state where they can spend 30 billion can feel secure?
No. The security is on what you want. It depends on what you want. Everybody must learn how to cut their coat according to their material, not according to their size anymore. You only will cut your coat according to your size when the materials are available and necessary. The point I was making when I made that explanation using Abia State and River State as a comparison is to say that Abia might have a security program that will work for them, that will cost them 3 billion. And River State might decide to improve in their own security architecture. Listen, for instance, I need to own a car that will drive me from here to Abuja. Maybe my car, the market value is 5 million. Same car, maybe a Mercedes Benz. Well, air condition, fitted, everything in a good order. Some other person on the same route, heading to the same Abuja, is with another Mercedes Benz that is worth 50 million naira. It's still serving the same purpose. But we're talking about luxury and comfort. So the point I was trying to make when I made that explanation is that states will now decide what kind of security they will provide for their people. Let me tell you something, Dion. What sense, like I said in the last time we spoke here, what sense will it make that a worker in River State at the end of the month, maybe his salary take home is 100,000. You pay the worker 100,000. He gets home, he's kidnapped, and he pays a ransom of 200,000. That means he has paid the salary he was paid and the upcoming salary as ransom. What about if you turn it this way back and you call the workers in the state and say, gentlemen, because of where we are today, we want to make River State security a special, give them a special provision, make it top notch, and say, because we want to do this, the state government is proposing in a town hall meeting, maybe through a bill, maybe to the legislative assembly, maybe calling the workers union, put it on the table. This is what we're proposing. Because we know that we don't have enough resources. Your salary is supposed to be 100,000, we know. We want to stretch it a little bit. We will pay you for this month 70,000. We want to save 30,000 out of your money and add to what we have in the state to provide you the security. You go home with 70,000, you are safe. You get the point?
Are you putting forward a River State government policy right now?
No, I am suggesting to you, I'm not, university is not, I am talking about what should be the solution, because that's the question you asked me. Because whether you like it or not, restructuring is here.
Now,
We restructure to allow the states own the kind of security architecture they want, and local government system own the kind of security architecture they want, so that we can be able to solve this problem.
Now, decentralizing may be the way to go, but especially with the rising wave of insecurity in the country at this time, there have been suggestions from certain quarters that a lot of the unrest we're witnessing nationwide is politically motivated and being caused by political actors for political reasons. Do you agree with that?
It's not correct. Anybody that is saying that is trying to deceive himself or deceive the public. When last did Nigerian government spend in improving our security architecture? Look at what Trump did. Trump came on board as the president of America. Go and see the spending in security. He made it a priority. What do we have here in Nigeria? Because we had coup upon counter coup, people deliberately broke down our forces, refused to invest in the hardware and the software of our security architecture. And that's the result we are facing now. Because the actors, the non-state actors now know that what the security architecture has as an equipment to tackle them, they have even more sophisticated things than them. That's the truth. And so for you to be able to match them and be able to make them understand that there's a government in place that has the capacity to stand any insurrection, you must spend money for it. And you know, these security equipments are not out there at the shelf that you just go and pick up. So the earlier we take the decision, if it's going to be an emergency section at the Senate, emergency section at the House of Reps, maybe an executive bill or something, okay, we are going to have 3 tiers of our security architecture. Maybe the federal government keeps the army to themselves and say, okay, allow the police go to the states. Let's have a federal police like we have in America. Let's have a state police. Let's have a local government police. There's a local crime, the local government police is there to handle it. If the crime is too much, the state police comes to intervene. If it's too much above the capacity of the state police, the federal police comes to it up. We are watching movies, we are seeing a scene of crime. FBI is appearing. The state security, Homeland Security is appearing. The state police is appearing. The county council security sheriffs are also appearing. And they are monitoring each other and sharing opinion and sharing ideas along one another. We are talking about how to save our life, Dayo. We don't have anywhere to go to again. If this country explodes, even this station that we are sitting to discuss will not be existent.
Please hold on. 5:30 p.m. right now. A break for the headlines. Discussions continue shortly. Please stay with us.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline News.
Thanks for staying tuned. Here are the headlines. Workers to hold parade in Rivers State tomorrow to mark Workers' Day. And President Buhari presides over security meeting. APC cautions Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka after he called on President Buhari to resign over increased insecurity. And NAFDAC approves Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine. United States to prioritize visa applications by Nigerian students who hope to resume academic studies by September. On a foreign scene, Israel to investigate stampede at Jewish religious festival which left dozens dead. In business, National Bureau of Statistics criticizes Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment for faulting its employment statistics. In entertainment, singer Burna Boy drops his first official single for 2021 titled Kilometer. In sports, Manchester United say online abuse aimed at their players increased by 350% since 2019. And those are the headlines. Details at 6. Contact our newsroom on 0818 90017. Thanks for listening. I'm Adedayo Elusakin. Good evening.
The night is almost done, but conversations are never done on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Join Jude from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Let's Talk weekdays.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers.
Welcome back to the Hot Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info and Port Harcourt. I'm Diet. 22 to go before 6 p.m. Discussions continue. My guest still in the studio, Chairman of Ikwerre Local Government Area, Honorable Samuel Nwanosike. Chairman, you're welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Dayo.
We're discussing the insecurity in the country, the challenges we're facing, and what we have to deal with it. To deal with it rather. Now, Chairman, the reason we have leadership in any country, at whatever level, be it federal, state, or local government, is to fix problems, is to provide solutions to issues, to provide answers to questions. And there is a very strong school of thought, and rightly so I perceive, that the reason for a crisis, security crisis especially at this time, is a failure of government. And while it would be very easy to apportion that blame or put that blame squarely at the feet of the federal government, it has been argued that state governments, including local governments, including even our traditional institutions, have their own roles to play as well. And while the federal government may be said to have failed woefully in discharging its responsibilities, and even the other tiers, including once again our traditional institutions, have also failed in their responsibilities as well in ensuring the safety of lives and property in the country. What's your position on that?
Well, you know, when you want to make such a statement, you must have your facts very clear. We have 774 local governments in Nigeria. Apart from myself, where I work, I can't really say what the other local government chairman will be doing, because you know they have their own job cut out for them. Everybody has his priority as set for himself. And so because of that situation, because I don't know what they are doing, I can't be here and accept or agree with you in saying that a lot of local government chairmen, or a lot of traditional rulers or state governors has failed. The truth of the matter is, you cannot ask a man to answer a name that he or she knows clearly that does not belong to him. The Constitution is clear who the Chief Security Officer and the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian security architecture is. You say a governor is a Chief Security Officer. How? What the governors are, Chief Logistics Officers. Because if the governor is Chief Security Officer, Governor Samuel Otom of Benue State will not go to the streets and be crying and begging that President Muhammad Buhari should allow him purchase AK-47 to defend his people. How can you call me a Chief Security Officer as a local government chairman when I cannot direct any security head without him falling back to his superior, either at the state or the federal level, before that decision will be carried out? So if the superior doesn't like my face, you say, no, stand down. You know, security issues, we are very careful when we speak on air. So that analysis you have made there doesn't have any basis. The ball falls squarely on the table of Mr. President, because he's the one that the Constitution has expressly stated. What the Constitution says about the governors is that they should support. And I remember and I know that the governor of Rivers State and other governors have been supporting. If not for the state governor's support, it would have even been worse than what we have today. You can send your reporters to go and make analysis or go and ask or investigate. Check the police divisions. Your reporter should tell you the truth or bring the report up. Because the divisions will state what they are feeling now. When last did they get direct funding from the IG through police budgets, the DPOs? When last did they have vehicles from the IG as police formation? When last did policemen receive uniforms? When last did they receive footwears? When last did they receive protective gears for themselves? When last did they even receive promotion areas? When last did they even receive proper training? When last did they even receive the things that will encourage, give them enthusiasm and improve in their welfare and give them the moral confidence to know that they are here to serve a nation that cares for them? What has happened to the lives of the family members that have lost their kids and kin who are in these services? A lot of them are thrown out of the barrack 1 week after their breadwinners die in the service. Go to the police barracks. When last were they renovated? The truth of the matter is that the state governors have been doing their best. You know, it's on record that Governor Nwanosike, since he became governor, has bought close to, if for nothing, close to 1,000 vehicles for all security agents.
There was an unfortunate, pardon me, there was an unfortunate incident here in Rivers State recently as well that led to the killing of several security agents. One of our reporters spoke to you on that, and here's some of what you said in granting that interview.
I want to say clearly that what happened yesterday was an unfortunate incident, and the Ikwerre local government people, we condemn it in totality, and we sympathize with the family of those who lost their lives. Gallant security officers who have been working tirelessly to maintain the peace and security of Ikwerre local government. I can tell you,
the members in Imo State by security operatives. Here's what he said.
Information available to us is that the attack is suspected to be coming from the members of IPOP, who claim that they are avenging the death of one of their colleagues that was killed far away, and invaded all the checkpoints ranging from Elele down to Omagwa, and took the life of innocent Nigerians who had no crisis with anybody.
Okay, you say suspected, that's fine, that's noted. But how did you come about that suspicion? Because not just in Rivers State, I don't know which state in the country right now, if there is any at all, that's not witnessing an astronomical rise in crime. Definitely we cannot suspect IPOB for all of these criminal activities all over the country. So how did you come about the suspicion that IPOB is responsible for what transpired in Rivers State recently?
And the leader of IPOB was on air, he's on Facebook, he's talking. At the very moment those issues were happening, he was on air, he was on Facebook, he was talking. For those who listened, he was talking, it was a dark page, but we're hearing his voice. And his lamentation was the death of one of his strongest soldiers in Ikwerre, that the security agents, on the orders of whoever, took the life of one of their best members. And from investigation, virtually all the checkpoints in Ikwerre are all deserted. And so, if you just oppose it, you can completely say that it is suspected to be. So if I say suspected to be, I have not said I was sure it was them. So we're very careful in choosing our words.
So if we were to change the narrative as far as the insecurity is concerned, I know you said several things as far as recommendations are concerned. You've talked about decentralizing. Is decentralizing the magic wand? Assuming tomorrow or next year the federal government comes up with a framework, of course with necessary constitutional changes or amendments cut to the National Assembly, with decentralized security, especially the police, maybe some others, but especially the police, will that automatically change the narrative?
Correct, yes, it will. It will, because it will restore the confidence and give direct authority to the governors and to the local government chairman to take responsibility. At that point now, you can hold me responsible to say, you were asking for this and it has been given to you. What have you done? I have 6 police divisions, and I know what their manpower is.
When you say hold responsible, I mean, there is a general feeling in Nigeria that leaders aren't really accountable to anyone. Governors, even local government chairmen, consider themselves in many instances to be demigods, and no one can ask them any question.
It's not correct. And let me tell you, that's even the problem. The problem is that Nigerians are just standing aloof and believing that one angel will come from heaven, or will come from America, or come from somewhere and just come and just change everything for us. The power belongs to the people. The people are the ones that have hired us. Me, local government chairman, the governors, and Mr. President. We are hired from the polling units by local farmers, local fishermen, poor people. Their votes decided who will be A or B or C. And so if they want to ask questions, which is their right and what is supposed to be in the democracy, is that if you employ somebody and send him an errand and give him your funds to manage for you, you must ask questions. The fund I've given to you for this number of years, what have you done with it? And until we begin to ask those questions, this development we are seeking for, stabilization of Nigeria, will not come. And let me tell you, Father Baka was on air. I'm sorry, I don't know why, but let me just say it. Father Baka was on air 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago, if I'm not mistaken, and he's asking the National Assembly to impeach Mr. President, and that if the National Assembly does not impeach Mr. President, that the wrath of God will come upon them. The question is, God has given us the power to elect National Assembly members. They come from constituencies. If Nigerians rise today and said, Nigerians want to hold Mr. President responsible and members of the National Assembly responsible, actions will be taken. Mr. President will sit up. This same president that is not talking to anybody, that is behaving as if he has not, in fact, whether Nigeria is living money, he doesn't care. You will see him run pillar to post, try to reach people. But Nigerians are quiet. They are afraid. They say it's business as usual. Politics is too important to live in the hands of people who does not know how it's supposed to be done. It is clear. There is no story, no propaganda, no blackmail, no intimidation. Hold on, let me finish. Oh. The APC-led federal government is the cause of all the problems we are facing today. Because one, they allowed nepotism. They made some people feel special and other people feel less. Even with the statement of the president. You remember the popular statement he made when he was in one of the interviews at BBC or CNN, and he said, why are they bothering him? People that he's going to give attention to the people that gave him 90% of votes, not people that gave him 5% of votes. It's on record, you have it.
How about the argument? Obviously, all of the security institutions in the country cannot be put blamed on one particular thing. I'm not saying the federal government is not responsible, but there could be several factors responsible for different security crises. These people may have their issues, those others may have their issues. But one issue that has been raised severally also is even politicians themselves. And people say that a lot of the criminal elements who are engaged in kidnapping today and other forms of crime and armed robbery and all of that are criminals or hoodlums whom the politicians equipped, empowered, gave them arms to help them win elections, and after elections are done, they simply leave them to their antics, because the firearms are still with them, and those ones being criminals anyway need to survive somewhere or another, and because there's no political patronage at that period, then they simply fester in their criminal tendencies.
Do you know what you're just doing now? You're sounding like a broken record. Because this same thing you're saying now, we said it over and over and over again. It was said before 1999. It was said before 2003. It was said before 2007. It was said before 2011. It has been said before 2015. It has, hold on, it has been said before 2019. What is the solution? I don't want to be hearing it. You said you're a criminal, they gave you gun during the election. No problem. If you have a proper security architecture, you will pay for the crime, whatever crime you commit. In fact, that you're a police officer, that you're a security agent, and you commit a crime, you pay for it. So nobody should come and tell me that story. As long as listen, what we have in Nigeria is just strong men without strong institutions. We want to have strong institutions. Our constitution needs to be rejigged. Our constitution is the problem. How can the federal government carry this much when few hands are employed there? Meanwhile, some local government as we speak today are lock and keys. Yes. What is the business of CBN in managing our agricultural program when the local government system is there to call that system into a program and make sure that the agricultural pursuit of a state or policy is anchored in the 704 local governments and make it competitive? And you can see Nigeria will rise. But what are they doing? The APC-led administration is now suggesting that the local government administration should be scrapped. In fact, when I heard it, I don't think these people are normal. Imagine them scrapping the local government administration. In my local government, I have 1,300 workers. Those that come to work is less than 100 persons. But I'm under obligation to pay them salary every month. Because I'm not the one that hired them. Local Government Service Commission hired them. And the man that hired has the power to fire. I don't have the power to fire them. But I'm paying them. You're talking about unemployment. As you scrap the local government system, you send 1,200 people into the streets. And you know what the resultant effect will be. We are saying that this is no more time for you to speak from two sides of your mouth, like El-Rufai is doing. When he wanted Jonathan out, he said they should negotiate for Chibok gets released. Today, he has raised another policy in his state. Anybody that negotiates will be arrested and dealt with. Because his own children are not involved. And now they're bringing back the children in body bags. Come on, Dio. Didn't you watch the video the Fulani boys made? Didn't you watch it? If you've not watched, go and watch it and hear what they said. You will hear it from my mouth. So we should stop deceiving ourselves in this nation. We have a big problem. And until we quickly... This can't wait till next year. In fact, there might be no next year for me and you. If we don't do it now.
We have to wrap this up at this time. So closing remarks will be in about a minute.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, this is no more time to lay blame. It is time for action. I feel pained, and I want to see opportunity to once again re-emphasize that Ikwerre local government sympathizes with the 9 security agents that lost their life in Ikwerre local government on that surprise attack carried out by unknown gunmen, as they may call it. But one thing that is sure is that I believe that their death will not go in vain. That their deaths and the death of other Nigerians will join forces to make sure that Nigerians stand out to give this nation the solution that will make us safe. And that solution is to restructure this nation. Allow the state governors, allow the local government chairmen take charge of security at a various level. Let the agricultural programs be a priority at the local government level. Let CBN stop being the ones to disburse the funds. We have banks. The banks should make it very liberal for farmers. Look, we have a lot of land. A lot of young people who are leaving school. You don't have industries. We don't have factories.
Chairman,
yes, we don't have factories. We don't have industries. You're talking about, what kind of job are you going to create?
Chairman,
let's go back to farm. That's the only solution.
We have to wrap it up. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being a part of the conversation, especially my guest, Chairman Ikwerre Local Government Area, Honorable Nwanosike. Thanks for your time. Wish you, the people of your local government area of Rivers State and Nigeria, the very best.
Thank you very much for having me. God bless you.
We're going on a short commercial break. The major news comes up top of the hour, 6 p.m. I'll be back afterwards with the rest of Hard Fast today. Do please stay with us.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your